It is that time of the show when we say hello to today's guests, and this is going to be such a fun show. We are welcoming back to the show Jane Laskin, who handles PR and marketing for Temecula Recycling, but more importantly owns Lady Jane Productions, and with her, an art professor from Mount San Jacinto College, the San Jacinto campus, and we were joking about that before the show, Eileen Doktorski. And Jane, a year ago we had you on talking about your second annual Recycled Art Fashion Show. And I actually had the pleasure of being out there for it. It was wonderful. It's come around again, and I really want to help get the word out because the message behind what you're doing is wonderful. And you have brought Eileen, who is, as we said, the art professor. And I guess you two were the original brainchildren of this concept 3 years ago?
Yes, we are. And we have an interesting story of how we met. I was working out in the yard at Temecula Recycling one Saturday, which I sometimes do. And I saw Eileen, and I was her daughter with her, and I went running over to help her and get her recycling out of the car and so on. And somehow she started talking with me, and she mentioned I'm an art teacher, and my, of course, lit up. And it's history from there, and of course we just bonded and had lots in common. So
I understand the connection there, but I'm missing the leap from having met there to saying, hey, let's show the world that we can take recycled stuff and make art and clothing and costumes out of it. How did that kind of emerge?
Well, that kind of emerged because I let her know that not only am I a professor of art, but I'm also an artist, and I work with recycled materials. I work with trash. I've done castings.
So you already were working in that arena.
And I wanted to connect with that kind of environment where I would be able to get some access to materials and things. So, and I had a lot of recycling. So you imagine if I just had a few things, a few bags, it wouldn't have taken very long. But my whole station wagon was really packed with stuff. Mm-hmm. So by the time we started talking, I said, I'd like to connect. We passed our business cards to each other. And I'm a natural collaborator, Jane is a natural collaborator, and we thought, you know, at some point we've got to do something. The next step was in the Temecula parade, holiday parade, the Temecula Recycling had done a Christmas tree float all out of recycled bottles, and it won first prize. And I was like, wow. I said, next time I saw her at the Recycle Center, I said, that was great. And then this came up where there was an opportunity for us to do something with fashion, and she said, could you get your students involved? And I was like, absolutely, this would be a great opportunity. And a lot of times, ideas happen really fast. And a sane person would say, you know what, that's a great idea, but I need more lead time. I'm like, just dive right in. Like, you know what, this would be a great opportunity to connect.
Yeah, and we
so
did
two
that.
highly creative cliff divers
yes.
came together, and this wonderful event emerged. So for those that are watching and listening, describe the event for me. And first of all, it's the date is April 26th at one of my favorite wineries in Temecula, Monte DeOro. For people who want to come out, what are they going to see?
Well, we start the evening. We usually open the doors around 6 o'clock, 6:30. We're getting that time confirmed right now. And the guests come in, and we sort of do the, cheese and wine sort of reception. And actually, the ticket price does include light hors d'oeuvres, so that's nice. A very, very good
deal. The only
deal.
thing I really care about is, does the ticket price include wine?
It does not. You buy your own
all right.
wine.
Well, that's okay. Note to self, bring money for wine.
Yes, and Monte DeOro gives part of the wine sales to the college, which is very cool.
Okay,
and
note to self, excuse to bring lots of money for
that's
wine.
That's right. Yes. Buy lots of wine. We do have an art gallery section in the fine art area, which the art is made of recycled items, and it's beautiful pieces. One of our artists, last year's artist, Chris, she sells some of her pieces for $5,000. This is serious art.
And I want to comment on that, because when you shared that with me last year, I'm a guy, right? So I'm going, yeah, okay, it's going to be goofy stuff made. And I got out there, and half the stuff I saw, I would have been more than happy to take home and put on a wall in my house.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
good.
And
really
once the show starts, they've got this runway that goes around, a walkway that goes around their fountain. And there's an incredible audience. I have to tell you, the audience there is amazing. Just being with these people is amazing. And there's between 400 and 500 people for the past 2 years that come. Once the designers, the models, the student designers get on there, it is the most outrageous show you're going to see. Now there are recycled and recycled global fashion shows everywhere
around the world, really,
and they are again just really they're for cause. They're communicating a message. It's not just trying to spend a lot of money on something. It's being three-dimensional, making the fashion transform you.
And you've got some cool categories.
Yes, we do. So the winnings, the winners in different categories are for most innovative use of recycled material. Another category is how the fashion transforms you, so that you wear something. I mean, you wear something and it transforms the way you move, the way you walk. We had one student who won, who did this incredible outfit designed by 3 people together, and it's based on tribal fashions from Papua New Guinea.
Wow.
And he took a movement theater class at Mount San Jacinto College, and so it was the combination of this incredible outfit that he wore, but then the way he moved with it, and people just loved it. And each one is completely different from the next.
Right.
We've had just amazing audience.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to look at a couple of items that you've brought with you that I can't wait to share. So the best part of this conversation is yet to come. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We are back, and you are watching or listening to Ron Stark, the Voice, coming to you from the beautiful KGEM studios of Old Town Monrovia. And we are joined by Jane Laskin and Eileen Doktorski, and we are talking about the Recycled Art Fashion Show. This is the program from last year. And this year, the presenting sponsor, I believe, is Hein, Temecula, Mazda, Subaru. And I'm so excited because, like I said at the beginning of the show, I attended last year, and what I saw was truly hard to believe that everything that I saw came from recycled materials. So just to demonstrate to our audience how incredible this can really be, you've brought something that I can only define as rather odd.
Yes, yes. This is from the Rise of the Rooster Strut. It's the headgear, and it was inspired by native fashions. And it's made from an old bicycle helmet, a pair of high-heeled shoes, the tips of a woman's high-heeled shoes, gloves, the tail, and the ears of Clifford the Red Dog. And here's the wattle. So this is Rise of the Rooster Strut.
Now,
design.
This is from year one, and am I right in assuming there was more to the outfit?
Yes, a man wore it, and everything was made out of palms and natural items on the body, and long feathers. The rooster tail feathers were all made out of the palm leaves that.
And he even had feet, rooster-looking feet with duct tape.
And for anyone, and I hope our viewers and listeners will actually come out. Temecula is not that far, and Monte DeOro is a wonderful winery, but it is amazing to see. And these are the designs are made by both students and designers.
Correct.
And the models, again, are both.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yes.
And these are students from your class.
Yes, some of the students are from my class.
And they must love it.
Yeah.
Now, we have something else here, and this is gorgeous. I almost wore this to open up the segment, but my producer, Travis, said no. What have we got here?
This is the coat that my designer friend made for me. It was originally my grandmother's best friend's long evening gown from the 1940s. Of course, I never wore it and got, I wore it when I was younger. It sat in my closet. So basically, it's a great example of upcycling, reusing, recycling. We took the buttons from a vintage piece that I had collected over the years. We used some new material in the satin lining inside, and of course the sort of royal-looking sleeves and cuffs. And then the upper part where your hand is as well is we incorporated some of the original pleats and so on from the original design. And I thought it turned out really beautiful. And of course, my seamstress designer friend is quite amazing to take something, so different and make it into a new piece.
And and I think that really tells the story of what you're talking about here, is we need to change our entire mindset,
Exactly.
environmentally, planet-wide, and start looking at ways to reuse items. It's just been so easy for so long. You know, even with clothing, something doesn't fit, it's out of fashion, you know, what do? You toss it. And we've got to start moving away from that.
Yeah.
So we're almost out of time, but how are your students, third year? This is something that is happening globally, and here at your community college, how are the kids receiving this?
They are so excited about it. In fact, it wasn't a whole week after the last show that they came to me and said, I'm already planning for next year. I am so excited about it. It was like a dream walking on the runway, seeing all those people, having my parents, my grandparents present and feeling proud of me. They were very excited. And mixing creativity with, thinking about the environment is just something they're really embracing.
So it's healthy and good for them, but I think for everyone that attends and hears about it, it just starts, obviously I'm not going to go to a recycling center and make a costume for myself, but what it is going to do and has done is really started making me think about everything before I throw it away. Can it be repurposed? Can it be reused?
The awareness level of, exactly what you're saying, not throwing things out, reusing them, going to the thrift store now and then instead of buying something brand new. The statistics of the amount of clothing material that's in the landfills is very big, and we need to stop that as well.
And I'll tell you, I've taught my kids, I do it myself. I'll go to a thrift store and always find some great bargains. If someone wants information on attending, tickets, and the price is very low, how do they get it?
Recycledartshow.com is the website, and the phone number is 951-440-3574. And that can be any time and 7 days a week. So
all right, and I will be there. So come on out, say hi, let's share a glass of wine, and watch the future of recycling. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
We will be right back.
I've been studying water for almost 40 years here in California, and this drought that we've entered this year, which, by the way, started about a decade ago, is the most punishing thing that I've seen. Records in terms of lack of water are dropping like horseflies.
All right, so it started about a decade ago, and we just didn't notice it, or we had enough water reserves that covered it. Why are we feeling the pinch now?
Well, there are 20 million of us in Southern California, and from San Diego to Santa Barbara, we import either from the Colorado, the Owens Valley, or the Sacramento Bay Delta 70% of our water. And so we have water infrastructure like no place else in the world. And so there aren't many short showers